Welcome, our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight as we are going to be talking on tips of how to end the year and plan for the year ahead. Last week we were talking about preparing for Christmas. I'm sure by now we have prepared. We know what exactly we are going to do. But as the year is about to end, it's very important that you also need to plan about your own life. It's only a few days left for you to cross over to another year. Unless you have that solid foundation of a proper planning, it's difficult for you to then start planning when you are in the new year. So in as much as we've got all the excitements, everything is fine, we also need to plan for the year that is ahead. I talked about budgeting, having something reserved for next year, not spending all the money that you have. It's very important to understand that if you don't budget, if you don't save, rainy days when they come, difficult days or situations that needs money, you'll be frustrated or stranded, or sometimes you can lose big opportunities. You need to know that it is at this time again that many business opportunities are going to come. People are going to spend a lot of money, and some will end up selling their houses, some will end up selling their businesses. So this is the right time for you to reserve, to save some money, so that when an opportunity arises, you are able to grab that opportunity and start 2022 with a bang. So you need to understand that saving is very important. When you are spending, when you're doing everything, but you also need to plan ahead. Plan ahead. What exactly would you want to do? So what can be your first step that you do? The first one is to make sure that you reflect this year. Just have that time to think of what you had planned in January. What exactly did I plan to do? This is the right time before you cross to 2022 to sit down and see your resolutions, your goals. What is it that you had planned in 2021? I'm sure all of those things you're not able to achieve them, but just have that reflection. Go back to the drawing board and say, what did I miss? What is it that I could not fulfill in 2021? Of course, with the days that I have that I left, it might not be possible to achieve these things, but I can then start by making them my priority for 2022. So sit down and reflect your life. What was the excitement when you started this year? What exactly did you want to do? Did you achieve? So this is the first thing. First, have that reflection. Check your resolutions, diary, wherever you wrote them. Take your plan, whatever that you wanted to do, and see what is it that I achieved, and be able to rate yourself. And then the next thing, don't judge yourself, but see what hindered you from achieving those goals. What distracted you from, what diverted you from your goals that you really wanted to achieve? So maybe you were sick. It might be one of the reasons. Or along the way you gave up. You just lost that courage. The excitement was gone. Because how we start a year, everyone starts with big plans. Everyone starts. What took the excitement, that you used to have when you started 2021, and you were telling people that even your status, take your stories, your Facebook stories, your posts, what you were saying, a great woman in making, a great musician, great things are happening. This is to new beginnings. This is to starting again, a fresh page. What then happened in 2021 that made you to lose interest, that made you to lose focus, that made you not to run with that vision? So it's very important to have that reflection before you even start 2022. As I'm speaking to you, we are left with a few days, but this is going to help you to plan what happened. So is it because you were sick? Is it because you maternity leave? Is it because someone discouraged you? Is it because you were broke? Is it because things did not go exactly according to plan? Or maybe whatever you had planned for was not realistic. So you need to see then what happened, not on overall, but on each and everything that you had set your goal on, your goals, to say, this is what then happened. What happened? How come you failed to achieve? For example, myself, I was telling myself that quarterly, I need to be traveling and importing my things, coming back, and had a lot of plans that I had. But because of the restrictions that were given, countries restricting each other from traveling, it really made all those plans, not to come to pass. But then when I sat down as the year was about to end, I said, okay, I can as well order online and try other things that I can do. What made me not to order things is because what I had ordered before, I could not get it, I had some hiccups and everything. But then I had to shake off the dust and say, oh, you know what? Losses are there. We experience them each and every time, but I just need to continue to move on. So our plans, sometimes they don't go according to what really, we were hoping for. But then it doesn't mean that you have to continue crying. You have to continue, just being stagnant. It's time now that you move on. It's time now that you prioritize those things and you plan. So as you have the 2021 diary, you also need to have the one for 2022. You take all those things that you left, that you couldn't manage to fulfill, and then you write them as your number one. To say, okay, this is what I want to do, 1, 2, 3. Then from there, you start to strategize, but starting with what happened, it helps you. Sometimes if we do not acknowledge or accept that we were wrong, sometimes we feel comfortable from, blaming other people, blaming situations, and say, I could not do this because of the economy, because of what? But it was in that same year that other people managed, to achieve their goals in life. So you should stop the blame game and start to focus now to see, all right, I missed it. It's not going to happen. So you need to write it on a list that you record, watch out, or, your warnings to say, okay, don't get distracted, avoid too much of social media, don't do this, don't do this. You don't, for the year 2020, there should be things that you are not allowed to do, Sometimes it's not about things that you are not allowed to do, but it's about the association. What made you to fail? What took, the courage, the excitement that you had when you started 2021. So it's very important to say, was it because of the association? Maybe I was in the wrong group, and that group did not encourage me to pursue my goals, so I need to eliminate. As I'm now crossing over to 2022, I need to eliminate people that, discourage me, people that do not help me to move forward in life. As we set goals, there should be elimination of some things that would distract us from achieving our goals. So now that you know what you really wanted to do, now that you have ready to say, okay, this is what I did, and now that you are clear of what made you to fail to fulfill those goals, it will then help you to correct. Now that you are about to go to 2022, it will help you to correct, to say, okay, this is what made me to fail. It was because of association. I got carried away. I became sick. My plans were not realistic. Things just happened. My parents became sick. And, all those things, they are things that are inevitable, but they are things that we are able to plan for. Remember last time when I was teaching you on planning, I said you also need to prepare for the worst that might happen, yes, in 2022. So if it's a business, what made it to fail? Why didn't you break even? What happened? Is it because you undercharged? Is it because you overpriced? Is it because you didn't do justice with your marketing? What made you then to fail? Is it that you had a wrong, targeted market? People no longer like those things that you're selling. What is it? Maybe it's time that you get rid of that business. Maybe it's time that you sell it. Maybe it's time. What really, what are those things that made you to fail? So business-wise, emotionally, this is the time to also check. If you check your business, you check your resolutions, you check your life. Why is it that I did not achieve those goals? Then when you are writing the 2022, from January the 1st, I need to be saving this much. I need to be careful of this thing that hindered me in 2021 to be able to pursue my goals. I also need to be careful of this. I need to be careful of this and this. When you are done, I also need to eliminate habits. Not only do we eliminate people, even such habits that distract us. Maybe to some people it's sleeping too much. You slept more hours than the hours that you worked. Then at the end of the day, there were no results. So it's very important to check what exactly happened, in 2021 that made you not to be able to achieve your goals. What is it that you went through that made it difficult for you? What took away the excitement, the energy, the joy that you had when you started 2021? And those things, put red flags on those things to make sure that when you start 2022, it's not going to happen. So have your diary for 2022, plan for 2022. Plan and also make sure that you remove elimination. It's the third thing. Eliminate everything that you feel is going to distract you. Eliminate some other, there are some businesses or there's some deals that you need to eliminate, to say, okay, I'm not continuing with this because it's going to strain me, I'm not breaking even, I'm not having any profit, I have to leave it. So plan for next year. And what kind of a person would I want to be? Plan, make a decision to change. What is it that I want to change about me? Sometimes we are not honest with ourselves, but people around us can say, okay, if only 2022 you can improve in your communication, then work. Be good when it comes to communicating with other people. Some can tell you that if next year you can only be good, with your presentation, the way you present things, decide, make a decision to also hear from people around you. What would you like me to change, in terms of how I conduct my things, myself, how I do my things? What is it that you would want me to change? And then you also list your new goals for 2022. Things that you never planned in 2021, but that you would want to do in 2022. So when you plan, it becomes easier. There are some people that you missed their birthdays and maybe you also forgot yourself. Now this is the time to write for 2022. What exactly would I want to happen, on Valentine? That is, if you're married, it's just 2 months now you'll be having Valentine. What do I want to do? Maybe it's your birthday. What do I plan to do? Now, with my spouse, if you're seeing yourself, how best would you want and how much? This is the time now to draw a budget for next year. What exactly would I want to spend on my birthday? What exactly do I plan on my anniversary? What exactly would I want to do, on Africa Day? Charity. Who would I want, to donate to next year? Draft your budget, have your budget, come up with a budget for next year. How would I want to do things? Don't just get into the year without planning for it, because that's the recipe for failure. Plan everything that you want to do. Then you plan, then you put figures to say, okay, I think if I'm going to spend 10,000 on my birthday, I also would want to spend 10,000 on this. This is the time that you also plan for your holidays for next year. Where would I want to go and how much would I want to budget, to pay monthly? This is the time now that you have that time to draw your budget, to write down everything that you need. Don't do it when it's in the 1st of January because already the year has started. But do it now when you are relaxed and you are thinking, okay, 2022 is not yet here. But, we still have more days. And I'm not even under pressure because this is what I'm going to do. This is the degree that I'm going to do. Do I really want to pursue my studies? Maybe you or me, I would want to pursue my doctorate. I would want to do, and I have to know how much it's going to cost me for me to go back to school again. Some of you, it's been years ever since you went back to school or you improved, yourself, just that self-development, in terms of self-development, what would you want to do to develop yourself? What are the things that you still need to assess with your life, You assess your life and see what is it that I still need to learn and that I still need to know. When we come to January, they've got special courses. There are some things that you don't know that you need to sit down and plan your life. So this is the time to plan our life accordingly. This is the time to have that reflection of what we felt and then to make sure that we rectify all our mistakes for 2021 and we prioritize all those things that we failed to do. And we also have time to set new goals for our lives. What exactly would I want to do? What kind of a person would I want you to be, I would want to be a mother next year. I want to concentrate, I want to pay attention to my students, to my children. I want to be involved in their lives. I would want to, to get married. I would want to do this next year by March. Plan your things quarterly. Now that you have a budget, you need 100,000. It's going to determine how you're also going to work. If it means that when you draw up your budget and you see that it comes with $1 million, now it determines the kind of business, the kind of work and effort that you need to exert for your things to go according to plan. So if you don't plan for 2022, you say you want to spend $1 million in 2022, but then your work and your businesses, everything that you want to do is not going according. So where are you thinking you're going to get that money? Now that you know how much you want to spend for fees, how much you want to spend for that car that you want to buy, how much you want to spend for anything, then it will encourage you to work hard. And do more things. Some people, they've got 5 jobs. Some people, they hustle, they've got extra jobs that they do. Some, they don't even sleep that much because they understand where they are going. This is now the roadmap for 2022 that you want to come up with. You'd want to plan it. You'd want to see, okay, so if I want to spend 200 USD, just on my birthday, it means I need to save how much starting from now. If I save $1 each day, that means I've got $30 every month. That means in December 2022, I'll be having this much. So this is my encouragement. Thank you for tuning in tonight to say, put your life in order. Now, have all those mistakes written down and start to rectify one by one. Go back to those goals. And go back to those things that you are so much excited and see what discouraged you, what demotivated you from achieving those goals, and start to work hard to make sure that you will be able to achieve everything. If you dream it, if you live it, you will become it. If you start planning it, if the foundation is solid, nothing is impossible as long as the vision is clear, as long as there is a roadmap. You will definitely reach your destination. So if you don't have a diary, please tomorrow make it a point to go and buy a 2022 diary and write down everything that you'd want to do from the 1st of January up to the end of the year 2022. Write down everything, and also make sure you write down the mistakes and all other things that you need to take note of as you are going through 2022. So have that budget. Plan your things. Make sure that you don't beat yourself, judge yourself too much for failing, but you rectify it in 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. This is the time again to go back to the drawing board and sort and fix our things and make sure that 2022 we will start at a higher note. 2022 is going to be a different year. Join us again as we'll be talking on other tips and how to then strategize and, set those goals in a way that you'll be able to understand them.
Attention to all dreamers with a vision. Is your vision stationary or on a standstill? Well, you have come to the right place. Embrace your vision with Mandy Sigauke, a multi-talented, phenomenal lady and a holder of numerous portfolios. She is a powerful motivational speaker, life and business coach, marriage counselor, narrator, and a preacher. Moreover, she is the director of Mansig Boutique and Mansig Events. For those vying for classic and modern weddings, she is the perfect person to consult, as she is a wedding planner. She is also an upcoming author on the verge of releasing her new book, Journey to be a Successful Woman. So do you have a vision at all? If yes, with Mandy, believe in your vision and do everything to turn it into reality. All you need to do is simply like and follow her Facebook page at Embrace Your Vision with Mandy Sigauke, and stay tuned to all the weekly teachings and seasons as you embark on this journey. Dream it, believe it, achieve it.